million VRC Champions Mile today from Pride of Jenny, last year's winner, Mr. Brightside. Well, if either Jenny or Mr. B are there, the other's got to be Fangirl, J-Mac. What a combination. He's on a roll. Broadsiding, well, gets below weight as a 3-year-old. How much will that help? And Tino, a Group 1 winner this distance last start. The Millies still just missing out a week ago in the Empire Rose. What can we expect today? I tell you what, it bodes well, doesn't it? When you look at all these amazing animals about to come out. But the fun fact here is, and the most entertaining part for many punters, will be just seeing those two, Mr. Brightside and Pride of Jenny, once again out there again.
Yeah, they've got a great rivalry. We've seen both of these horses compete against each other on so many different occasions. I think the score is this preparation, Mr. B's 3, Pride of Jenny's 1, but she was awfully hard to catch in this race last year, and she might do the exact same thing today.
Yeah, look, she did have the pattern on her side last year. She led. It was a great day to be a leader. Kicked on strongly, and Fangirl closed off sharply from the back. And she was at the tail end of a longer campaign. She went to the Cox Plate. This time, they've deliberately dodged that race to keep her fresh enough to win this race. A real target race for Fangirl.
Cannot wait for this mile, not too far away now. It's the second of our Group 1 races, all worth $3 million each as we head to the yard to try and soak up some of this atmosphere with Michelle and Francesca. And tell you what, since that result for James McDonald and the first of our Group 1s, there's a real vibe here now.
Yeah, it could be dangerous, couldn't it? Just following James McDonald, the bookmakers will be quaking. He's on Fangirl here, and he told us earlier in the day he's really looking forward to riding her. But Michelle, I think it's going to help us try and understand the shape of the race. So Pride of Jenny, we think, will go forward. What does Antino do? Because he took off halfway through the Toorak and put that race to bed. What do they do with Broadsiding off a brilliant third in the Cox Plate? How will it look?
I think, it's proven with Pride of Jenny just sort of breaking the field up, really making it a staying test and using her strength of her stamina. So I feel like they're going to really use that today. She's deep into the preparation. She's fit. So I imagine that's what they're going to do. Obviously a new rider with Ben Mallon, but I think he's set definitely up to the task. Had 2 winners today so far, but Mr. Brightside, he's drawn a great barrier in behind her, so I think he's just going to get the really lovely slipstream behind her. Blinkers first time, which is really key to him. He's an older horse. He's never needed them in the past, but as they get a little bit older, they sort of learn some tricks of the trade. I feel like that's a really huge gear change for him. But then the other two, like Fangirl and Broadsiding, and also we've got Amelia's Jewel, who was also exited on Saturday. They're just going to be having a lovely sit off this hot speed too. So it's going to set it up for a fantastic race, but I think it's going to be really hard to beat and catch Pride of Jenny.
So many chances. We'll reposition to have a look at the horses. Back to you, James.
Good on you, Francesca, Michelle. Yes, back to you very soon. We're going to bring in the Eliminator, and the algorithm has this, a race in 3.
3 key winning chances, Gator, according to the Eliminator. How do we feel about that? I'd like to bring Broadsiding back in, please.
Yeah, I think the 3-year-old deserves to be there, even though he's coming back in trip. So he has to go. And Pride of Jenny, it's rude to leave her out. I mean, she hasn't been at her dynamic best the last 2, but she's impossible to leave out for me.
All right, the algorithm's had its say for the VRC Champions Mile. I'm pleased to say champion jockey Jamie Carr joins us at the set. Hello, Jamie. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
We're in the middle of this stunning period of back-to-back Group 1s here for Champion Stakes Day. You know a couple of these horses well out there. We've been talking about this Pride of Jenny, Mr. Brightside rivalry. It's something to enjoy, isn't it?
It is, and it's quite difficult to ride races against Jenny. I can speak from experience. Yep. She's very good at causing an upset, and she might do that again today, and fingers crossed she does for Ben as well.
What about Broadsiding, Jamie? This is a horse you know so well. How do you think he's going to go today?
I think obviously the Cox Plate run's going to bring him on a heap. He just needed the experience. I thought he was a bit more mature than he was. Obviously he's been running well in weight for age races, Group 1 races, but the Cox Plate would have brought him on a heap. I wasn't worried which distance he went to, as long as he wasn't against Waller's horse, which was an absolute a very hard horse to catch in the Cox Plate. So I think he's going to run fantastic. He just needs to obviously improve a little bit more and step up a bit.
All right, let's have a look at the field for race 7 today. It is, as mentioned, the VRC Champions Mile. It's across the 1,600 metres, of course. And the field, Mr. Brightside, of course, and Tino, we've been discussing the form coming in here. Pride of Jenny, Fangirl, James McDonald. Well, he is the fan favourite here at the moment. moment. Amelia's Jewel and Broadsiding, which you know a bit about too, Jamie. We'll get your thoughts on that very soon as we head to the mounting yard. And Mr. Brightside, Grace, what did you make of the fourth in the Cox Plate?
Oh, he's just such a consistent horse. He's a 7-time Group 1 winner. Every time he goes to the races, you know what you're going to get from Mr. B. He does have the blinkers on for the first time, which is a really interesting gear change. It might be able to help him focus in the run, which he's going to need to do when he's got Pride of Jenny to catch. Cheska, how does he look deep into his campaign?
He looks really well, Grace. He's such a lovely, laid-back, relaxed horse. What about his record? I mean, in total, 17 wins from 39 starts and over $14 million in prize money. It's an interesting one, reaching for the blinkers on his 40th start. Are they just looking for that little bit of extra improvement out of him?
Annabelle Nishan with a couple of chances here to go back-to-back in the Group 1's Gator. My Oberon and placed in the $5 million King Charles.
Look, this horse is really big odds. Given 3 starts ago, he just missed Fangirl, and last start he just missed Pride of Jenny, who are much shorter in the market, so easy to make a case.
Pinstripes, Grace, a Group 1 winner already this preparation.
And that was much earlier on in the spring. That was over 1,400 metres in the Memsey Stakes. Since then, he's had a couple of starts. He's had a gap between runs. I think he'll be peaking in terms of fitness here, but I do wonder whether the 7 furlongs is his optimal distance.
Jamie Mark Zara gets the ride on Antino and blew them away last start.
Absolutely, but Blake's ride was just the winning move, and he probably just won't be able to do that again, especially with Jenny in the race. Obviously, it's not taking anything away from the horse, but he just had the most ideal run the other day.
Michelle, how does Antino look in the yard?
He looks outstanding, actually, James. He's really relaxed, but then he's got a little pep to his step. He looks really healthy in the coat, and he couldn't parade any better here today.
Gator, New Energy chasing an elusive win.
Yeah, he just found them a little bit hot in the King Charles last start. He wasn't bad, but certainly never really threatened, and unfortunately this is even a deeper race again.
Von Hawk yet to fire in 3 runs, Grace.
This is a sharp rise in class and opposition for Von Hawk. He was okay in the Crystal Mile last start, but he'd certainly need to improve.
Ben Melham's had some success today. Gets to ride Pride of Jenny. Jamie, what can you expect?
Look, she's either going to come out and blow them away, or otherwise she did have, taken a bit of effect from the last two runs. The Cox Plate run was a massive run, and it wouldn't surprise me to see her just absolutely knock him out. But I think she needs to, she really needs to pick up from how she's been running the last 2 starts.
Cheska, how's Jenny looking?
Yeah, she looks good. She's actually not dissimilar to Mr. Brightside in the sense that she's lovely and calm and relaxed and very professional. I just do worry a little bit, like when connections start reaching to change things, like changing the jockey this time, that they're trying to find some way of getting that extra bit of advantage, when to me she did run a little bit flat in the Cox Plate last time.
All right, let's get to Fangirl. Gator, a win over the mile, 2 back.
Yeah, she was dynamic that day, really soft win, every bit as good as VRC Sustainer prior to that. The last start, I just thought they rode her too close to a fast speed, and she was at her top way too soon and couldn't finish off. She was dynamic in this race last year against the pattern of the day. How does my girl look, Michelle?
As Chris Waller knows how to do, she just looks like a picture of health. She couldn't present here any better today, and she's here to run a really good race.
Let's get to Amelia's Jewel. Jamie, last Saturday you were in the saddle, just pipped in the Empire Rose.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run, and I just think with the blinkers on, she needed that run because she thought she'd won. She thought she'd crossed the line, and she only saw Waller's horse get to her late. I could see her improving again since then.
Okay, Gator, Steffi Magnetica, Bjorn Baker trained and arrives via the Golden Eagle.
I think she should have won it, and that was her first ever try at 1,500. Another step up 100 metres out of her own age group there. She was a 4-year-old race there, of course. So chance at a price, but others ahead.
Jamie, Broadsiding, the Golden Rose winner, first up and 3rd in the Cox Plate.
Like I said, I think he's a freak of a horse. I think he has a lot of improvement to come still, but I think he would have taken a lot from the Cox Plate, so I won't be surprised to see him find another level today.
Your thoughts on the final runner in the field for the mile, Francesca?
He's nice and relaxed here in the mounting yard. Interesting, the filly in front, Steffi Magnetica, because he's number 13, he has to go behind her, but they're keeping a nice gap because he is still an entire. He's on his toes. He looks really really, really well. He's quite small, he's quite compact, he's very racy looking, and he's got that really big weight pull on him.
Fangirl, truckloaded in the betting here. 6 into $4.80. Pride of Jenny, $3.80 back to $4.60. Mr. Brightside being kept very safe in the market. 6 into $5. Broadsiding's out of points, $6.50 to $7.50. Antino's $5.50 back to $8. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. So Mr. B, Mr. Brightside for Grace, Fangirl, Gators with the masses.
Yes, and there with James McDonald. What say you, Michelle and Jessica?
Oh, there's so much class and quality in this field lining up for the mile. Michelle, who's the best of them?
Well, I've been lucky enough to see Pride of Jenny now last year and then again this year. She just looks as good as she always can. So I feel like she's going to give them really something to chase, and I'm with her. I think she's going to hold on.
And I'm going to stick with 13, broadsiding.
Francesca, Michelle, thank you. Jamie, this time in the day, ahead of a big Group 1 like this, we had 80,000+ here for Derby Day. We had 90+ for Cup Day, another 50+ on Oaks Day. It's a special moment for someone like you when you're about to have a runner out there.
Absolutely. These are the days we work so hard for. This week has just been amazing, but I personally love Champions Day. I just think it's the best of the best in these Group 1 races, and this is what we do it for.
It's something special when you've got the cream of the crop and they're all stuck together in these 3 races back to back, isn't it?
Absolutely. This race, especially the mile, I think, what a classy lineup. Not often do you get a Group 1 with this many amazing Group 1 horses in it.
Just a question, Jamie. With Broadsiding coming back in trip, I noticed in the Cox Plate he didn't accelerate quickly. Same in the Caulfield Guinea. So how can he cope with that coming back in trip?
Yeah, I don't think the trip's going to worry him. It was just the pressure of the race, how quick we ran. He just hit a flat spot. Hopefully that's just picked him up a bit, just to see. Like he just hasn't been travelling that fast in these races in these last few Group 1s. I feel like that's either brought him on or it might have knocked him around a bit.
Right, let's head over to TJ.
Thanks very much, Brace. We've got Tony Gollan here, of course, Antino. Tone, it's a star-studded field, but geez, he holds his own, doesn't he, when you look at his form?
Yeah, look, he does. I mean, it was a breakout run, I guess, a Group 1 level in the Toorak for him. He'd been running in the weight for age races leading into that. We're really happy with him. We feel we got him in as good a shape today as what we had at Caulfield 4 weeks ago.
And Michelle Payne just saying he looks a picture of relaxment, if that's a word.
He does look really well. He's a very good-looking horse. He's a dark-skinned horse. He parades beautifully. He's got a lot of pride in himself. He sort of knows he's a Group 1 winner since Caulfield.
All right, terrific stuff. Contentment is the word I should have used. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Gee, this is good fun. The second of our Group 1's now just moments away. Yes, it is Flemington at its absolute best for Tab Champions Stakes Day. Coming up next, race number 7, the VRC Champions Mile from Flemington. Tab Champions Stakes Day, the final day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. 1 Group 1 down, 2 to go. This, the VRC Champions Mile. Craig Williams, the veteran hoop. Well, he's in the saddle for Mr. Brightside, and again giving us some insight pre-race.
Well, he's lovely and relaxed. He's really taking everything in. He's got the blinkers on for the first time. He's got earmuffs on to dull that noise from the crowd. But he's number 1 saddle cloth for a reason. He's one of the best horses we have here in Australia at weight for age.
So Mr. Brightside, courtesy of Craig Williams, we're getting a real decent look at just what could unfold here as Mr. Brightside and Pride of Jenny go head-to-head yet again. Our tab market mover, please, Jared.
Has to be Fangirl. $6.50 this morning, now $4.80, and best backed in the race.
All right, James McDonald, the power of him, the form he's in at the moment. You can't disagree with the punters who continue to follow the champion jockey. He is in some form at the moment, isn't he, Jamie?
Yeah, he's very hard to catch. He's not fun to ride against, no. But well done.
Just finds the moment in the big moments. Pride of Jenny for Michelle Payne, broadsiding for Francesca. David Gately going Fangirl. 3 bars of confidence there, Gator?
Yeah, I just think it's too strong a race to be super confident, but I know she's good enough.
And Mr. Brightside for Grace Remage here. Billy, what's the scene where you are?
Well, I think the mood's changed in the back here, Brace. It's certainly, you don't have to read the the race book to know this is a Group 1. These jockeys are locked and loaded. They're focusing on the start, and that is because it's only a short start before they get to this big sweeping turn. This turn could make or break their chances in this race. And an amazing 7 Group 1 performers, or 7 Group 1 winners out of the 11 starters here. So this is a high quality field, and it'll only take just over a minute and a half, and we'll crown the champion miler of the carnival.
Like a State of Origin dressing room before kick-off, I imagine. Michelle, run us through what it is like going to standing behind the barriers with your mount before a Group 1 the size of this.
Well, what I loved was seeing Mr. Brightside just stand there and take it all in 100 metres before the finishing line, before the race. You never see a horse do that, so he must be feeling very calm and in a good frame of mind himself. But I actually feel as though somebody like Benny Mullum, Jamie would know, would be feeling a little bit nervous here, because it's a little bit different tactics, obviously, with Pride of Jenny. You've got to really rate your horse. He's going to be making it a race where he's got to have to be caught, and I feel like he's going to be the one feeling the nerves here behind the gates.
It's the reason you become a jockey, isn't it, Jamie, for moments like this?
This is why we do it, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you, Michelle, though. It's not as simple as just jump and run and let the horse go with Jenny. You're going to have to rate the horse well. Hopefully he does, and hopefully he can shout dinner later for me.
Well, we talk of the form that James McDonald's in at the moment. This is the only race in the Group 1 in the carnival that he's never won before, and the form is in at the moment. He's clocking him up as he chases his 10-win record for a Cup Carnival, and he is flying at the moment. He's just one away from levelling it, and he is in the saddle this afternoon for the Chris Waller-trained Fangirl, and they are some combo, Waller and McDonald, as we hand it over for the VRC Champions Mile to Matt Hill.
So they've met 9 times, these two stars, Mr. Brightside and also Pride of Jenny. It's 5-4 in favour of Pride of Jenny, but is it going to be the mile specialist in Fangirl, or Antino, who was so brilliant at Caulfield, or this fellow, the 3-year-old Colt Broadsiding? Great race. Field set, Champions Mile, they are ready. Set to jump. Racing in the Champions Mile, and Mr. Brightside jumped away very quickly, with also Broadsiding the outside by Oberon between horses, and there's Pride of Jenny starting to get into her work as well. Steffi Magnetica behind them, from Amelia's Jewel, pinstriped out deeper on the track, and then came New Energy, Von Hawk, Fangirl. Antino was last. Pride of Jenny looks to cross by Oberon and does so, and perching outside of the speed is the 3-year-old Broadsiding as they head past the 1100 metres. Pride of Jenny by a length and a half, Broadsiding, and then came my Oberon, Amelia's Jewel. Next is Mr. Brightside, a length Steffi Magnetica, then pinstriped Von Hawk, New Energy, Fangirl, and Antino is at the tail of the field. Pride of Jenny runs them along, but it's not as fast, usually up to her standards anyway, by about a length and 3/4, Broadsiding by Oberon, and then Amelia's Jewel, Mr. Brightside, Steffi Magnetica, pinstripe deeper beyond centre field from Von Hawk, New Energy, Fangirl, and Antino is last. Up around the turn, it's Pride of Jenny in front from Broadsiding, and then My Oberon behind those. Pride of Jenny marginally bringing the field off the rails. Mr. Brightside with 2.5 to pick up. Amelia's Jewel, pinstripe, Steffi Magnetica behind them. Fangirl and Antino winding up. They've got to Pride of Jenny. Amelia's Jewel struck the front from My Oberon. Broadsiding, Fangirl and Antino right down the outskirts of the track. Amelia's Jewel at the clock tower with Fangirl, Steffi Magnetica, and Mr. Brightside driving through too. Mr. Brightside hits the front from Antino, Steffi Magnetica. Mr. Brightside, Mr. B's back. Mr. Brightside's won it. A half Antino, Fangirl or Steffi Magnetica. Behind those horses, Amelia's Jewel, and then came New Energy, pinstripe Von Hawk. Well back Pride of Jenny by Oberon, and at the tail of the field was Broadsiding.
Sheer jubilation for the Hayes team here, and Craig Williams guides Mr. Brightside to a stunning victory in the VRC Champions Mile. Grace, your elation to say the very least there with Hubby Ben, that was something else.
It's just incredible. I mean, this horse means absolutely everything to everybody at Lindsay Park, to Ben, Will and JD, the trainers. He's now an 8-time Group 1 winner. Craig just had to wait for the gap to appear, and when it did, he never lets anybody down, Mr. B.
Let's head over to TJ.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ben. Finally.
Wow, it's He's just been so consistent this prep, and today he just landed in a good spot. He flew the gates, and I'm shaking. Just such a special horse to us, and it was. I was hoping he could get that gap, and he got it, and so strong through the line. Super effort, and well done to all the Lindsay Park, all the owners. He's taken us on the most amazing ride, so I can't believe it.
JD, Will, yourself, you've never lost faith, have you?
No, he's never ran a bad race for us. He's an absolute gentleman, and I'm just so proud and so happy for Craig and everyone involved. I'm fully shaking.
Oh, so you should be, mate. You deserve this one, and hopefully you party long and hard.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
The Brightside owners love a good party, so it'll be good fun.
Over to you, Billy.
Thanks, TJ. Willow, I knew we couldn't go to the carnival without having a chat with you. What a way to do it. Mr. Brightside, you've got a great relationship with this horse.
Yeah, look, I'm really fortunate. Ever since he come over, he had his second race start here in Australia, his third ever race start, and I partnered up with him, and we've had an amazing association. And as I was talking to Ben, his trainer Ben Hayes, about when we started him off when he was going to Geelong Maidens and then going through all his grades, what they've developed. This great horse today, he's had a great preparation, won the Mackay Diva Stakes here. His target was the grand final, was the Cox Plate. He ran fourth, but ran phenomenal. Today, they've come here today in the Champions Mile with all these top horses.
Yeah.
They've gone for blinkers for the first time, and it's really, he was the right product today, so credit to all their team, and of course, Mr. B, he's got no BS in him, and he's just a real competitor, and he did all the running and fighting today, so thanks, buddy.
Well, he's won 8 Group 1s. He's a real champion. You sprung the lids and you let everyone else do the work. You just sat on him and give him a nice ride.
Yeah, I was able to utilise a really good barrier today with him. The horse has just been prepared so well, and I had the right horse to be able to do what we wanted to. We've raced enough against Pride of Jenny to know how we need to be, and I just had the right horse today. He was quite amazing. I felt like a passenger through most of the race.
Well, it's his 8th Group 1 and it's Craig Williams' 80th Group 1. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Billy. If I can just send a cheerio to Janice McKenna. You've done an amazing job there celebrating Colin's life, and he's trained so many people. I want to send a message to Bev. Bev, I know you're listening, so send you a cheerio. And Mel, keep up your fight. You're motivational, and you give us all the strength in the world, so keep up your struggles, guys.
Well said, mate.
He's all class, Craig Williams, and that was certainly the case today aboard Mr. Brightside. It's chaos in the mounting yard. Let's head it back to TJ.
Yeah, well, you say it's all class, Craig Williams, and one bloke that knows that all too well is his dad, Alan. Congratulations on having a champion son like you've got.
Oh, fantastic result. Very good.
He just never fails to deliver to you, does he? I mean, as a son?
No, look, he's done really well. Very professional, and great ride and great horse, well trained.
What makes him so special?
Well, I think he does the hard yards. Yeah, look, he puts in 100%, 10%, and good luck for him to get the results.
And he never has a day off, does he? I mean, you know, whether it be in the gym, whether it be home studying, whether it be at the track, it's just a full-time operation.
It's full-time, yeah. He works his time out pretty well, and when he's had enough, he knows, and he has to give his body a bit of a rest, so he's going well.
Good on you, mate. I'm sure you've got a bit of backslapping to do, so you've deserved it, and so does he.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done to all connections of Mr. Brightside today, finishing ahead of Antino, Fangirl. That's your trifecta there, Jamie, Michelle, as jockeys. When a race like that, we spend all that time talking about it, building up to it like it's grand final day. But then when it delivers like that, and finish like that, Jamie, that was something else.
I called about 4 different eventual winners of the race then. I thought Amelia's Jewel was the winner at one point, and then Steffi, and then there was probably 4 or 5 horses that looked a winner then, and the blanket finished, and then obviously Mr. B is just an absolute superstar. He's amazing.
Yeah, well, Antino was fantastic from behind. They actually didn't go as hard as we would have expected with Pride of Jenny, but I think what was so amazing was we saw again Craig Williams. He took one of the tightest runs. He obviously had the horse to take the run, but 3/4 of a horse gap for him to take, and he had the full momentum and he was confident to take it. And as his father just said there, he's just an ultimate professional, and it's why we see him year in, year out, just dominating in these carnivals.
Grace, you've just had to have your makeup reapplied. You've been shedding tears out there, dancing around with Ben and all the gang as Craig Williams comes back to the scales. And It's I love it. You're trembling, the tears. Special moment. So good to witness it here.
Yeah, this horse. It's just this horse. You know, as you, Michelle, Jamie, Chesko, everyone in the game knows how rare it is to have a boy like Mr. B. That you can consistently front up at the elite level and him to never let you down. So we are just in awe of what he's able to achieve time and time again. And he's so deserved this Group 1 win.
Just see and feel the love down here, Francesco. I'll tell you what, this is contagious, this horse racing business.
And it's so lovely seeing all three of the brothers together there welcoming the horse in, and they've done so well as a young partnership coming together, all dividing the responsibilities. David must be so proud.
Oh, he's so proud. He left very big shoes to fill. So for the three boys to come on board and basically, build up their own reputation. We had Mr. Brightside winning a benchmark 64, a benchmark 70, 78. He's gone right through the grades, and now he's an 8-time Group 1 winner.
There's a photo right there as the Hayes gang celebrate the special moment for them here at Flemington, the $3 million race 7, the VRC Champions Mile. And we see Craig Williams saluting 80. Gator, that's something special, isn't it? Group 1s.
Yeah, well, he's approaching legend status himself, and just a great pioneer for the sport, isn't he? And just notice the blinkers on. It's something that's worked for the father of the boys, David Hayes, and Colin Hayes before him. It's been their weapon for generations.
I certainly did. Mr. Brightside, the winner of the Group 1 VRC Champions Mile. You reckon that man on screen's in his element, loves a crowd and a big occasion. Billy Slato.
This boy, he's my teammate today. This is Sammy. He'll be looking after me today. He's just having a little nibble on the roses. Oh, what an atmosphere out here, James. And you're entitled to have some sort of nerves, but these jockeys, this is where they're most comfortable. James McDonald's, he's having a mouthful of water. He had a big smile on his face a second ago. He loves these Group 1s. Yeah, I'm with J-Mac. Group 1 J-Mac. That's what we do, Phil! These are the big days for the jockeys, and this is why they work so hard. So to be a part of that is pretty special.
Billy, you've got the lady of the moment.
What a day, Jamie Carr. It took you long enough, mate. You had a quiet first half. What about this crowd? I know you love a crowd.
I love a crowd.
Well, he's a Kiwi. He don't mind the rain.
No, absolutely. It must have been an incredible feeling sidling up to Billy Slater. It felt like a lifetime hacking around to Billy Slater to see if I won or not.
This is the elite level. This is the grand final for racing. Go and enjoy it, mate. Look, I'm pitching myself at the moment, and I'm just going to really enjoy it, and hopefully we can bring that emotion through the TVs to you at home as well.
Stakes Day has become almost grand final day for the Spring Racing Carnival. To have 3 Group 1s in an hour and a half is just high voltage racing.
She digs in, another star turn from a brilliant mare. This has been spectacular. But a Tissue sprints away. J-Mac again. A Tissue wins.
I love the way Stakes Day has evolved, and it's a big finish for the carnival. It's probably getting close to being one of the better days of the carnival.
To elevate it to a Champions Day and get to the best sprinters, the best milers and the best 2,000 metre horses, it really completes a fantastic week.
Still Zaki holding on. Zaki back to back. Zaki wins it. Jamie Carr wins her Group 1 at Masterful Ride.
A very special day for me and Zaki when we won. I remember that day vividly. The little girls were standing by the fence, and I jumped off and they were crying, and they said, we want to be like you one day, Jamie. And oh my God, they made me cry. I was an absolute sook.
It's coming together really well since they've changed the program, up the prize money. You see the high quality horses competing there, and it's a really good way to round out the week.